How's it, guys? I'm still having such issues with my car, so I can't get there now. Graeme, Cole, you guys are in charge. And Monday's episode was so amazing. I'm looking forward to getting the next part from you guys. Cool. See you soon.
Did you see that thing yesterday on the TV?
Good morning, Cole.
Hi, Graham.
How's it going?
I'm so tired.
Why are you tired?
I stayed up late watching these movies, and I never made it through to episode 6. And because I was with my one friend, we like smoke in between,
Right.
like every 15 minutes or something, and then chat about it.
Right.
So then what was enough space to watch 3 movies became not enough space to watch 2.
Okay.
Yeah, and then this morning I was like, I'm cuddling, I'm not getting up. Let's go record a podcast. But yeah, I'm okay otherwise.
Okay,
And you?
good. Yeah, I'm fine. I didn't watch the movies.
I mean, we've watched them enough times.
Yeah, this is
like
true.
everyone.
Exactly.
This is fair.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome back, everybody,
Oh, we're back.
to the second part of our Star Wars May the 4th special, but May has 2 meanings. We're going to talk about the original trilogy that kicked it all off. One of the biggest franchises, one of the most beloved things of all time, and one of the most hated things of all time.
Apparently, by the
Ironically.
people who really love it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to get into the original trilogy this time around.
Brilliant.
I'm very excited.
I'm very excited about the original trilogy.
Yes.
Great discussions to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting legacy, I think.
Oh, yeah, such an
unpack.
interesting series of films, man.
So, hope you enjoy it.
Yes.
If you're interested in other chats of the video store,
Yeah.
just show up next week where we're going to talk about all the new things that are coming out
Whatever new came out.
and whatever we're watching.
Exactly.
Old or new.
And if you're just jumping onto this, go back to the previous episode where we spoke about the prequels.
Right.
There
So
you go.
you can experience it chronologically, or you can experience this as the first one,
Exactly.
like they were released.
I know.
You know, so you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want, you know?
That's the best thing about the internet.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about the internet. All
Okay.
right, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Where do we start with episode 4?
That's a
Do we
great
start
question.
with do we start with talking about the monomyth and Joseph Campbell?
Oh, yeah.
For those of you that don't know, George was heavily influenced by this academic called Joseph Campbell that wrote this
Yes.
book, The Hero with 1,000 Faces.
Exactly.
And if you're in any writing program around the world, you're probably going to read it. But
Yep.
this guy put across the idea that all world mythologies and religions come from a single kind of myth structure
Yeah.
or are formulated around a single myth structure.
Yes.
Unintentionally, because this is the truth of the kind of stories we want to say
Exactly.
and tell as a species.
Yeah.
And the original film is kind of the synthesis of a whole bunch of different genres of
Yeah.
stories. And it seems like into like a coherent whole that's universal in the monomyth. So it seems like to me, George is influenced by that in more way than one, right?
Yes.
It's a pulling together of all these different influences to create something it's a mixture of things that haven't been made before.
Yeah.
Right? So it's space wizards,
Exactly.
it's knights, it's
There's a-
dogfights.
Dogfights, there's Western in there.
There's Western.
There's samurai forms in there.
Mm.
You know, it's kind of like all of those things mashed together. And that thing that we call the hero's journey
Yes.
has become so synonymous with Star Wars that when anyone else does it, they say, oh, they're ripping off Star Wars. It's like, no, Star Wars was just taking this structure that Joseph Campbell had kind of
Exactly.
pulled out from all these different places.
Exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars is quite seminal in that way, being a film that like maybe kind of did it for the first time in this way,
Yeah.
in the space opera setting, or it's like the perfect expression of that structure in a modern sense.
Yeah.
You know, that it became this thing that we just all pull back to in terms of reference, and it did revolutionize Hollywood.
Exactly.
You know,
Big time.
so there's a lot that we can get into with this.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's worth getting into how George came about it. I remember hearing that he had a dream journal next to his desk,
Oh, really?
and every time he had ideas, he would like Star Wars kind of came to him in a dream, and that's where it started.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what James Cameron says about Terminator as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting dreams, James.
Yeah. Interesting. I didn't know that, but he's also very heavily inspired by the stuff from his youth.
Okay.
You know, Flash Gordon, those
Right.
sci-fi fantasy serials.
Yeah, when they
Very
talk about
much
serials,
influenced that, yeah.
I honestly haven't done the research into them to understand really what that means. I mean, like what I assume is that it's episodic.
Yes. There were, as far as I know, I might be wrong about this. We can fact check ourselves here. There were like shorts that would play before movies.
Okay.
So they would play them in a movie theater, and there would be like a short film that would play before the feature film.
Oh, now we get trailers.
Yeah, now we get trailers. Remember, Pixar always used to do shorts before their movies.
Yeah.
I mean, they stopped doing that.
Did they stop doing that?
I think so. I haven't seen one in a long time.
I don't know. Pixar are making some mistakes. I don't know. IMO. My friend and I last night, we were talking about how shit Cars is.
Oh, right.
It is just like the shittest idea for a story. Anyways, a cool thing to talk about, and this is not a tangent, as much of a tangent as you'd expect.
Yes.
Because Pixar is linked to Star Wars.
Yes, it is.
In a very interesting way.
Yeah, because it started as a division of ILM.
And for those who don't know, that's Industrial Light and Magic.
Yes, which is a company that was created to make Star Wars.
Exactly.
ILM, which became, at least for a while, was the only visual effects studio in the world, and for a long time was the biggest visual effects studio in the world. It was created, like George Lucas created it, to make this movie.
I mean, it's interesting how that happens. Weta was also created to make Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Weta was created to make Heavenly Creatures.
Oh, okay.
And then they also worked on...
That was a test and Graeme passed.
They then also worked on... What was the one he did after that with Michael J. Fox? The Ghost
The
one.
Frighteners.
Frighteners.
Okay.
But then
The
they then did
Frighteners
the
is-
Frighteners.
The Frighteners is what Tim Burton movies want to be.
Oh, really?
It's like Tim Burton, but good. Sorry to trigger people. That happens a lot on podcasts.
Right?
IMO. But Tim Burton with good directing.
There you go.
That's a more precise phrase. So it's really interesting to talk about the role of ILM. Let's start there. And how ILM was founded to like pretty much make these visual effects possible that hadn't been done before.
Because they had to invent the things to make this film.
Right.
Like the techniques didn't exist yet.
And ILM were busy with that R&D while George was shooting
Yes.
in,
Sure.
what's the famous studio in England? This is a good general knowledge question.
Should know this.
We should
Is
know
it L
this.
Street? L Street?
No. It doesn't. That doesn't ring a bell.
Is that the James Bond one?
That might be the James Bond one.
Okay.
Okay, well-
Pinewood.
Pinewood Studios.
Okay.
Well done.
All right.
Yeah, Pinewood's that.
Okay. Hey, editor, jumping in here again so that we don't look like idiots. It is, in fact, L Street Studios where they shot Star Wars, as well as a bunch of other stuff like Indiana Jones and The Shining, and more. Ooh, the Muppets. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page while I'm recording this. Pinewood is the one that's known as the James Bond studio because they've shot a bunch of Bond films there, as well as other stuff like Alien and Aliens, and the Chris Reeve Superman movies, and Batman 89, and Marvel still use it quite often to this day.
And they were responsible for developing the techniques that would create all of these massive visual effects shots that hadn't been done before.
Yes.
And I remember hearing when George came back, this is in ILM, when he came back to America from shooting at Pinewood,
Yes.
half of the R&D had happened.
Yes.
So principal photography was in the can.
Yep.
And now we're moving into post-production. We got a tight schedule.
Yeah.
And then he had to come in and just...
And ILM had a total of 2 shots.
They had 2?
They'd completed 2 shots.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
In like months.
Yeah. Part of this, okay, so this comes down to what the main thing that they were developing was the thing that they called the Dijkstraflex,
Okay.
which these days we call motion control.
Oh, wild.
So
okay.
what motion control is a system where you can record camera motion. So it's the camera is on like a mechanical boom arm.
Yes.
You can record a motion with it and then repeat it over and over again. You
Yes.
just play that exact same motion.
Yes.
That didn't exist before Star Wars.
Oh, wild.
They called it the Dijkstraflex because it was mostly invented by a guy called John Dykstra,
Okay.
who was kind of the head of ILM at the time.
I love Dijkstra Flex.
Yeah. And then he was a guy, obviously, he has 3 Oscars. He's incredibly intelligent, but clearly doesn't care about things like deadlines. So him and George butted heads big time. They did not get along
Yeah.
because he was just he didn't seem to care about the fact that they had to get this done by a deadline. So he was just I'm going to take as long as it needs.
Jeepers.
I think at that point, he may have been fired at that point.
Really?
I don't think he was even on until the end of it. He still wound up getting the Oscar when Star Wars won the Oscar for visual effects.
Okay.
Because he was so involved in it before that point. But I think at that point, because he was so
Blasé about the deadline.
yeah, I don't know if he was blasé about it. I think that him and George just had different philosophies
Approaches,
about
yeah.
it. And George was like, no, we have to start banging these shots out.
Jeepers. Can you
Yeah.
imagine that stress?
Yes.
Filmmaking is no walk in the park, and I think that's why George stepped away from directing after A New Hope.
That's part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
It was it's a complicated journey with George.
Yes. It's also him butting heads with the guilds, but we can talk about that later.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he had to go through quite a lot of hoops to get this film funded and made, didn't he?
I would think so. Like,
Yeah.
he's an unproven director
Yeah.
doing something wildly ambitious. I mean, it cost $11 million, which in like these days is a tiny little indie film.
Yes.
But in 1977, that's a pretty significant, chunk of money for an unproven director in an unpopular genre.
Mm.
Making
I mean,
an
at this
original
point, he'd
film.
only made American Graffiti.
Yeah, in THX 138.
Thank you. I was
Yeah.
about to ask what it is.
Okay, yeah.
So people in the wild, will recognize that as the big
Yes.
sound that happens before Star Wars movies and a lot of the other movies that you watch,
Yeah.
because that the sound system is what named after his film.
It was an attempt to standardize sound systems in movie theaters. It created the THX.
Because there was no sound standard.
Mm,
Right. So it's
Yeah.
kind of just like, if you want to project this movie, you have to have this equipment installed.
exactly.
It has to be of this quality, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Thank God for George Lucas. So much
Right.
of this stuff.
We spoke
dude.
about this last week,
Yeah.
like how influential he is on the whole industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So another thing to talk about is the role of Marsha Lucas, who's
Mhm.
George Lucas's wife, and I think the editor on this movie.
Yeah, she's one of several editors.
Another fun fact is that his besties from the movie Brats of the 70s, I think it was Scorsese and Coppola, or Coppola and De Palma,
Oh, yes.
tried to hit on his wife while they were married.
Oh, right.
I was like, these are interesting friends
Yeah.
dude, that you surround yourself with.
What a time, dude.
Yeah, what a time. But at least I heard that. I need
Yes.
to fact check it actually,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure it's right.
Mm-hmm.
And she would be a person that George would come to with his ideas, and his
Mm.
ideas were kind of wild and disparate
Yes.
and all over the place. And she would be a person that would push him in the right direction and say, "Oh, what if you rather did this?"
Okay.
And it was a lot of reining in creatively
Yes. Okay.
and focusing that happened. And a lot of people draw the comparison between her being there for the original trilogy
okay.
and a very clear kind of narrative through line, or at least level of storytelling that's evident there, and then that not being there for the prequel trilogy when he wrote those,
Okay. Yes.
because their marriage fell apart because Star Wars was hectic,
Oh, right.
basically.
Jeez, like.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Crazy.
George went through a wild time.
That seems to happen a lot with directors on these big films.
Mm.
Like you hear about Peter Jackson as well, having bad time on like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and being hospitalized, and Martin Scorsese as well on that Scorsese documentary.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like a difficult thing.
A difficult thing to do, to put your vision that no one believes in, because then
Yes.
also, because he was an unproved director, had to fight for money, had to fight for the recognition he deserved to make the movie. On top of that, he gets to Pinewood, shoots with an experienced shooting crew,
Yes,
and they're just looking at him like, "What the fuck are you doing,
Yeah.
dude? Who is this American kid
exactly.
making this movie, telling us what to do?"
Yeah,
And then apparently that was quite difficult.
yeah.
Wasn't there a thing about tea breaks?
Oh, that was on Aliens.
Or was that on Aliens? Okay, I
Yes.
remember this. James Cameron lost his mind because the crew were just like, tea break,
Yeah.
and then they dropped their gear.
Exactly. And those were union mandated tea breaks. Like they were 100% allowed to do it. And also it was a similar thing of they didn't know him and that crew was very loyal to Ridley, and that's a different thing. We actually spoke about it a little bit in our Alien episode, which if you scroll back a bit you'll be able to find.
Exactly. That was a cool episode. I had
Yeah.
fun recording that.
Yes.
So there's a lot of interesting context that goes into the creating of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it's one of the first times that a deal was struck where George, I think, as part of his deal, said that he'd get 100% of the rights to merchandising.
Yeah, it wasn't 100% of the rights, but it was a lot more than a director normally would.
Okay.
And it's because he basically merchandised it in a way that films just won't.
Right.
He had, again, just that foresight.
Yes.
The studio wasn't thinking about things like toys because nobody was making toys for movies.
Right.
So he kind of had the foresight to go ahead and do that. Again, there's a video on Mr. Sunday Movies, that channel, about all the marketing mostly around the marketing around episode 1, but it also gets into George's deal that he made in the originals.
Wild.
And how kind of insane it was.
Yeah, just completely groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Because that's where his millions came from, most
Yeah,
of it, right?
Yeah, a big part of it.
Was the merchandising from Star Wars.
Yes.
It's a genius move.
And what happened was that the toy company that he had to deal with was they would either pay him out a certain percentage or it was a minimum of $10,000 a year. So
Sure.
if the toys made less than 10,000, they would still have to pay him $10,000 a year.
Jeepers.
And this was a deal made in perpetuity unless they didn't pay him. And then at some point, that company, I think it was Kenner, was bought by Hasbro.
Yes.
Hasbro then just at some point neglected to pay him.
Oh my God.
So he went, guess what? We now have to make a new deal.
Oh.
That original deal was 2.5% of the sales. The new deal he made after the old deal lapsed was 18%, as well as something like 7% of the Hasbro stock. And the CEO owns something like 9%, so he's almost as influential as the CEO of Hasbro.
Geez, George Lucas is savvy, dude.
Yeah.
There's a different kind of filmmaking and business savvy
Yes,
to a guy like George.
exactly.
That's not just about the art of the story. He's like a very multifaceted creative person.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Go George, dude. Get your money, girl.
right? You're a billionaire now.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe the only good billionaire. Who knows?
Yeah, probably. I mean, we hope. Like, the theory is none of them are good, but
Exactly.
it's George Lucas.
Yeah.
So, should we get on to the story of episode 4?
Let's do that.
The story of episode 4, I mean, I was tentative watching it again because the last time I watched it, I remember feeling like, oh, this is so dated.
It is so of its time.
Yes,
It's a bit of a, not in a negative way, but it is a relic of its time.
absolutely.
It's not stuff like contemporaries like Alien and Close Encounters of the Third Time are kind of timeless in a different way.
Yes.
This is the result of a 50s kid making a movie in the 1970s with like crazy ambition,
Yeah,
being very limited by technical possibilities.
right.
That's kind of what made this film.
I think it's a really good summary of why it looks the way it looks.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a certain aesthetic. It's kind of feels like film sets.
Yes.
It feels kind of cheap in a way. I mean, some of the matte paintings are. I was looking at the matte paintings and they're still brilliant.
Yeah.
They are still so good. I want to go back to the days of matte paintings. man.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, we
love
still
matte
do them.
paintings. Yeah, they're just
But
digital now.
yeah, they're digital.
Yeah.
But there's something so beautiful about the idea of a guy taking up like an entire fucking wall
Yeah.
and
Like a
painting
sheet,
this
they would paint them on glass.
cheapers.
Yeah.
It's amazing, dude. It's so nice.
Yeah.
I buffered for a second where I was like, what were we talking about before we got into matte paintings?
Star Wars, the era like that it was made in, and
Oh, right.
how it feels dated.
So it's got a certain aesthetic that dates it, but then I still think that by and large, it's a solid little like event-driven story.
Yes.
I mean, it's interesting to see just how much more character there is in episode 5.
Yeah.
And then you kind of appreciate or like sense the absence of it in episode 4, where it's kind of, these are very simple characters and archetypes.
Luke is there to answer the call to adventure and not let something like a personality get in the way.
Absolutely.
You know?
That's kind of why he's there. He's just there to be a hero.
Yeah.
Right.
His personality really develops in the next film, which
Yes.
we'll get to. But yeah, that's very much what Luke is, that archetypal young farm boy hero.
Yes.
You know?
I mean, that kind of is the gold standard for it now.
Exactly.
When everyone thinks about the typical hero's journey, they're just like, okay, cool, it's Luke Skywalker answering the call to adventure. Those stormtroopers fucked up his aunt and uncle, dude. That is
It's
just
brutal, dude.
It's not even just like when Ben Kenobi is looking at the little Jama tank,
Yeah.
and he's like, only Imperial stormtroopers are this precise.
Yes.
And then you're just like, oh fuck, okay, like that's like a cannon shot. It's
Yeah.
not like a blaster shot, surely.
Exactly. Yeah, you'd think.
It's like a giant hole in the side of a steel thing. I don't know how lasers work. But clearly, like when people get shot in Star Wars
Yeah.
or exploded, their flesh just completely
It would
evaporates.
seem so.
It's like they used an incendiary grenade that's
Yeah.
made of like lava or something that just
Exactly.
like melted off all their flesh.
Because there's just these skeletons there.
I mean, just like, what the fuck happened to them? How
It's
do you get
wild.
turned into a skeleton in like half an hour?
End of episode 9. They should have still been there when Ray ran back.
What's your name? Ah. What's
Fuck
that?
are those things?
Oh yeah, when she buries her lightsaber,
Yeah.
doesn't she bury her lightsaber in the sand?
Yes.
And then the sand disappears and you just see the skull creeping out. Fucking hell. Sorry to Uncle Owen and Aunt Peru.
Right? R.I.P.
R.I.P. The friend asked an interesting question last night, and he was
Yeah.
just like, "Where does the moisture come from Tatooine if they're moisture farmers?" Because I said they're
right.
moisture farmers,
Yes.
and it's like it's a desert planet, right? So there's no water.
Yes.
I suppose this is the same as Dune,
That's what I was going to say. I assume this is.
like
I
a
mean,
similar idea.
yeah. Again, that's another place that Star Wars clearly pulls from is Dune.
Yes.
Yeah, I've always assumed that it's similar to So they talk about the moisture capture things
Yes.
in Dune. I assume it's like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just never explained, so it's the kind of thing you just have to be like, okay, cool, moisture evaporators.
Yeah.
Sick. Moisture evaporators.
Yes.
It's like Star Wars tech noises. And two things that irritated me. This will be a more structured chat later on,
Yeah.
probably. But one of the things that was irritating me is they said computer and hell in this movie.
Oh, right.
I was like, those aren't Star Wars things. Like, would you call it a computer?
Yes.
Do you have hell? Oh, no, it's in episode 5 where Han says, I'll see you in hell.
Right.
And you're just like, mate, like, does God exist in this one too?
I guess.
And Jesus? They have space opera Jesus
Yeah.
mythology. Yeah, so that kind of pulled me out of it for a little bit, for a little
Okay.
second.
Okay.
And the acting in A New Hope is so 70s
Yes,
some of the time.
it is.
It's very 70s.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know how you felt about this.
Mhm.
Why the hell is Vader second in command on the Death Star in this one? And we're in the military, right? So one would
No.
assume regimented structure, clear line of command, respect at all levels kind of thing. And this guy looks at Vader, is like, fuck your religion, dude.
Yes.
And he's just like, why would you say that to Lord Vader?
Yeah.
I get that he's arrogant about his space station.
Yeah.
But then still, surely Vader's this person that people shit themselves around.
I guess. I mean, I
then-
suppose at this point in time, the Darth Vader mythos didn't exist.
Right.
Like, we don't know how he fits into this military structure.
Right. It hadn't been defined yet, even in
Yeah.
George's mind.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's very loose and undefined and weird. Because then in 5, he's in control.
Exactly.
You know, it's like very clear that he's at the top of this pyramid.
Because he just strangles everyone.
Yeah, exactly. He just murders like 10 people in that
Yes.
movie. Fucking cold blood, dude. This guy's brutal.
Right?
And then Luke's like, there's something good in him. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
In episode
yes.
6.
Yeah.
But fuck. I don't know. What thoughts did you have about episode 4 rewatching it?
Man, well, I didn't rewatch it. But yeah, I agree with you. It's of its time. But I don't know if it's purely because of nostalgia or because there is something genuine about it, but there is a charm to its, lo-fi-ness.
Yes.
The jank
Right.
has a charm to it, you know?
Yes.
The fact that everything feels handmade, even if
Yes.
that makes it feel fake.
Yes.
There is like a charm to that.
Absolutely.
Not in a sense that like, oh, CGI is bad. CGI is always bad. Practical's always good. Not in that sense.
Not in that sense at all.
But there's just something about it that has this like tangibility,
Yes.
that makes it feel grounded's the wrong word. That just makes it feel like a real thing, even if that real thing feels theatrical.
Yes.
The way stage play is theatrical.
I mean, it kind of suits that
Yeah.
as a film in its tone and
Yes.
in its identity. It suits something that is on the verge of being theatrical, right? Being a space opera.
exactly.
In this like first iteration.
yeah.
I think the frustrating thing as well, for those of you that don't know, is that George re-released all of these movies in 1997
Yeah.
before he released episode 1 in 99.
Yeah.
And the 97 re-releases came with a whole bunch of new edits and changes because of the advent of computer-generated imagery
Yeah.
from Jurassic Park in like the early 90s. So George wanted to leverage this and pull off a whole bunch of shots that he couldn't have done
Yeah.
in episode 4, which I kind of understand.
Yeah. And I don't think it's universally bad.
I don't think it's universally
I
bad
think
either. I think
some
in
of the
4,
changes are.
it stands out.
It does stand out more in 4 because it's the one that has the most changes. It's also the one that seems to have the most like, hey, let's add some hijinks in.
Right.
Let's add like a big dinosaur thing with a Jawa on it, and then a speeder bike goes past and the Jawa falls off, and it's like,
yeah.
you're going like, oh, we don't need this.
We don't need
but at
this,
the same
George.
time, with that, it's like this nice big establishing shot of Mos Eisley,
Right.
which we don't have in the original at all.
Right.
And it makes it feel like a bigger, realer place.
Right. So it
you
feels
know.
more cinematic.
It doesn't feel like a street in the middle of the desert. It
Yes.
feels like a city. I like that stuff. I like anything where they've like replaced the spaceships. I think works really well
Okay.
because that's something that CGI, even at that point in time, was really good at.
Okay.
It could do like hard surfaces basically. So the ships look really good.
Right.
And they've added and replaced a lot of the spaceship shots with CGI.
Okay.
Especially in like the trench run scene, a lot of that stuff has been changed.
Wow.
And like there's shots of like the Millennium Falcon taking off and that sort of thing that just didn't exist.
Right.
What doesn't work is stuff like CGI Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, right.
Looks terrible.
It does look terrible in episode 4.
The 97 one looks even worse because they subsequently redid that shot,
Right.
those shots,
Yes.
when they'd released it on DVD.
Yes.
And I think they may have even changed it again when they did the Blu-ray one.
There were changes on the Blu-ray. I
Which
know
is
the
wild.
only one I know is the Darth Vader. No. That came with the
Yes.
Blu-ray. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. And like let's talk about this now rather than addressing it with each film individually. Like in Cloud City,
Yes.
they've like added stuff out the windows,
Okay.
which wasn't there before. There was
Oh,
like,
damn.
Yeah.
Well, the window's blank.
I can't remember. I think it was just
Probably
like
just a
more,
matte painting.
It was like more interior, basically. Like you didn't see out into
The clouds.
the clouds. Yeah.
Okay.
So they've replaced that stuff. Also, stuff like obviously the freaking
Sarlacc.
musical number
Oh, right.
in Return of the Jedi.
Oh, we were
just-
talking about that last night. We were talking about how
What a
much this
nightmare.
chick slays in this song. And I saw some influencers on Instagram
Yeah.
that, like, this band that learned the song and
Oh,
sang it in
really?
Hasanese. And it's a jam, dude. She puts her whole pussy into that performance. I'm just saying.
And that was going to be in the original film. They were doing it with puppets,
Okay.
but they like were unhappy with the way it looked. So it's a really mixed bag of what's good and what's not.
Mm.
You know, some stuff is completely unnecessary. Putting a rock in front of R2D2 when he's hiding
When
from
he's
the
hiding in
Tusken
episode
Raiders,
4.
yes.
I mean, that kind of makes sense.
But it's like,
Because
why?
before that, he's hiding really badly.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, stuff like that is just like, what are you doing?
I do appreciate that the Sarlacc now is a creature, not an anus in the sand.
Yes, it's not just a hole in the sand that
Yeah.
like gurgles.
Yeah, it's literally an anus in the sand.
Yes.
That's like gurgling, which is disgusting.
Exactly.
Right? So I prefer that it's like this beaked thing
Yeah.
making noises.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's okay.
So the special editions are a mixed bag.
Especially the weird ones, I think, of all the changes to Han, like Greedo shooting
Yeah.
first, which is like a big controversy that we can
Yes.
talk about for those who don't know. But originally, Han shot Greedo first when Greedo comes to collect his bounty in the Mos Eisley bar.
Yeah, Greedo didn't shoot at all.
Oh, didn't he shoot at all?
Han just went, bah!
Yeah, he just like shot him like
Offed him.
cold-blooded, just like
Yes.
because that's who Han is.
Yeah.
Right, Han's not going to wait for trouble to come to him. He's
Exactly.
going to like remove it first.
Exactly.
He's this kind of like streetwise, like space savvy
Yeah.
cowboy.
He's a scoundrel.
Right? It's exactly what he is. So then what George did in 97 is he basically took Han and moved him off to the side for a frame.
Yes.
And then had Greedo shoot the wall space where Han's head was.
Yeah.
But the movement is obviously not acted.
Exactly.
It's done in post-production. And it feels like he turns into the Flash.
Yes.
Because he moves like...
yeah, his
like
whole head goes boop.
Yeah, in like a split second.
Yeah,
You're just
his
like,
neck
damn.
breaks and his head shifts to the side.
Like, oh my God, dude.
It's really weird.
It's so bizarre. But then also, when Jabba the Hutt comes to collect his bounty at his spaceship, the Millennium Falcon, his space port thing. What do you call that? Like a space chamber, his docking bay.
Sure.
Yeah. What's the science word for this? Sci-fi word. And Jabba was a man in the original theatrical release.
Yeah.
It was just a like
well,
a
that
really
scene wasn't
big...
in the theatrical one at all.
Oh, was that not even in there? I remember seeing a scene where there was a guy.
There was a scene like that where they shot it with a guy who's basically a stand-in, and the
Yes.
idea was to replace him with stop motion.
Oh, in episode 4, this was the idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so that scene was just excluded completely.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. We're learning cool things about this original cut. That makes sense. Because you see this footage and you see Han talking to this guy, Jabba the Hutt. I always thought that was the original intention with Jabba.
Yeah.
But then what happens is the one thing they didn't count for is when Han walks around him.
Yes.
And then now you have this giant space slug that's got this giant back end of its tail that Han is suddenly walking through because they haven't put the CGI thing there.
I assume what happened there is they just hadn't designed Jabba the Hutt yet. He wasn't a big slug man
Right.
at that point in time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now that he is a big slug man, they had to like rotoscope him
Yeah.
so that he like looks like he's walking over it.
Exactly.
And if you pay attention to that, it also kind of looks super clumsy.
Yeah, it looks really bad.
It looks really odd.
Yeah. Well, just redo it.
Yes.
Like you could completely redo that whole scene with. Now you could do like a perfect photorealistic Jabba that looks exactly the way he did in Return of the Jedi,
Exactly.
and have it match exactly. And you can do like a CGI replacement of Han going up and over. You've already replaced all that stuff anyway, so just replace it again and make it look good.
Exactly. I don't think it's an issue. I wouldn't be mad at that.
No, because it's been changed so
And
many
also,
times.
you
More
could probably
changes don't matter.
integrate it more into if you had to design this around the 70s style of the movie. So it doesn't feel like hyper modern
Yeah.
visual effects inside
Exactly.
of a 70s film, right?
Yeah.
You could kind of like work with the grain, you could work with all of these things because a lot of the, like, I don't know what it is. It's either the rotoscoping, but then a lot of the models feel like they're super like mushed. I don't know what it is, but they don't look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, 4 has become this weird hodgepodge of a whole
Exactly.
bunch of different things, right? It's like mid-90s CGI,
Yeah.
not that great.
Exactly.
Super old movie that's kind of got this cheap aesthetic,
Mm.
but in an endearing way, not inherently bad, as we
Yeah.
were saying, because a lot of it's practical, a lot of it's very interesting.
Yeah.
So it's this film that's become this like Frankenstein,
Exactly.
and
McClunky.
yeah,
That was apparently the last change that George Lucas ever made.
what?
McClunky.
Explain?
When just before Han shoots Greedo, he goes, McClunky. That wasn't in the original one. That was added.
Does Greedo say that?
Yes,
Oh,
Greedo
thank
goes
God.
in his like weird little like fish language.
Yes.
Whatever the hell he's talking. He goes, McClunky. And that was that wasn't there before, and then for some reason it suddenly showed up when it was released digitally.
Okay, it's the McClunky cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently that was the last change that George Lucas made before he handed it over to Disney. No one knows why.
That is so bizarre.
I think George should be allowed to continue to change just that scene as much as he wants.
Yes, exactly.
Just keep adding to it until it's like 45 minutes long. And it's like a short movie that happens in the middle of this thing.
You get your little Western shootout that you always wanted, George.
Exactly.
You know, just fucking do it, dude.
Exactly.
Lean into it with your whole pussy.
Yeah.
Just stop saying that. The gays, I'm hanging out with too many gays. Yeah, but episode 4, I mean, ultimately super charming.
It is super charming.
It's fun to watch. I prefer episode 7 as like the version of that story because it's
Okay.
obviously we're working with iterations of the same thing. Like
Cool.
George Lucas talks about it as poetry, and you have repetitions of themes and styles and structures and
Yeah.
things. So they're very much the same movie. I don't think that's an inherently bad thing because episode
Yeah.
1 does the exact same thing.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
Exactly. We can talk about that more when we get to episode 7, but no,
Yes.
it is there.
it's there 100%.
I think it's also held up a lot. As much as we were saying, like, the acting isn't always great, the casting is so good.
Yes.
It is such a like a lightning in a bottle kind of movie.
Yes.
Where they managed to find the exact right person for every role.
Yes.
And it also shows the importance of chemistry tests.
Right.
Right, when you're casting someone, you get people together and you rehearse with them, or you do screen tests with people just to see what they're like together.
Right.
And that's what they did with like those core 3 characters.
Yes.
Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford.
I mean, Harrison Ford wasn't even going to be cast as Han Solo.
No, he was working in
just
the-
reading.
yeah, he was working in the like carpentry department, like building stuff, and they brought him in
Just to have a
read
person to read
lines.
Han's
Yeah.
lines.
Because again, he had already been in. He was an actor, but he just wasn't working that much. Like he's in American Graffiti,
Yes.
you know. So he wasn't working that much.
Oh, he's in the Drag
George,
Race.
Yeah, so George brought him in because he knew him,
Right.
and then he wound up with the role because of that. And wound
Damn.
up becoming, you know,
And he is so cool.
yeah, he's perfect, dude.
He is so cool.
Yeah.
I was just having a moment looking at Harrison Ford and being like, just appreciating how iconic he is and how different he is. Like,
Yes,
idiosyncratically, no one is like him.
exactly.
He's like 1 in a million kind of
He's a
movie
unicorn.
star. Absolutely.
He's a unicorn. He's like one of a kind. There's
Yeah.
no one who can do quite what he does.
Yes.
There are like people who've come close with that kind of, especially with the Indiana Jones character, just to go on a tangent here, that sort of like roguish guy who's almost an arsehole,
Yes.
but is like charming enough to get away with it.
Yes.
Like Brendan Fraser did it in The Mummy.
Yes.
To an extent, Chris Pratt does it in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
But it's never quite Harrison Ford.
No, it's not Harrison Ford.
You know?
It's a beautiful way to put it.
He's one of a kind.
Carrie Fisher, I enjoyed watching again last night.
She's great, dude.
She's very nice in this movie.
Yeah.
She's super charming as well. And I like how she plays the stuck-up princess.
Yes.
Because I think she plays it as a front.
Yeah.
Like there's a sense of entitlement around who she is, you know, in terms of how she's saying, listen, I don't know who you are, where you came from, but you're going to take orders from me.
Exactly.
You know, that kind of thing. I mean, I did enjoy watching her in this one.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill is still the guy, I think with George's poor direction, I think with him, I think that acting kind of pedigree is not the same.
I think to an
He
extent,
really relies on good directing.
exactly. I think to an extent you get away with it in A New Hope because the character's very naive.
Right.
So a kind of naive performance
Kind of
doesn't
tracks as well.
necessarily do too much harm to it.
No.
But you can tell he's very inexperienced.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
you can tell he doesn't have the time on set that like Harrison Ford and
Like
these other
Alec
actors
Guinness.
do. Yeah, Peter Cushing, you know.
Yes. Narratively, the one thing that kind of sticks out for me in this one is just how familiar everyone is with each other.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's how upset Luke is about Ben Kenobi dying.
Yes.
I mean, like, there's so much you have to assume that isn't told about the fact that, oh, he hung out with Ben quite a bit on Tatooine. Maybe that's why he's so upset.
Yeah.
Because it's been like a day since
Exactly.
they left Mos Eisley.
Exactly.
And he is so torn up about this old man dying.
Yes.
And like he's mopey and depressed. He's like, oh, I wish Ben were here. And,
Especially since we've already seen his reaction to the aunt and uncle who raised him dying,
right.
where he kind of just closes his eyes and like looks away, and then he's over it.
Right. So a little bit of an inconsistency.
Yeah.
And then also when R2-D2 gets blasted after the trench run, gets shot by Vader.
Yes.
Like Anakin shooting his own droid,
Right.
which is bananas. And when he comes out, he looks like toast. And then he's like, me and this droid have been... Oh, no, it's when the droid's going up into the X-Wing for the first time. He says,
Okay.
me and this little guy have been through a lot together, haven't we,
Yes.
R2? It's been a day, dude. It's like 2 days tops since you bought these droids from the Jawas. So there's a lot of that where it's like everyone's super fond of each other,
Yeah.
but they're just like have been involved with each other for a day or two,
Yes.
you know? So it's the only thing that I kind of struggle with in terms of narrative logic.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate that they use the word computer. Why do ships and planets in Star Wars never go up in space? There's like always like an invisible road or plane where
Right.
they're all like flying towards each other. And it's kind of like you can go in any direction you want in space.
Okay.
And whenever they need to escape or something, it's like,
This is true.
when you see at the start, like with that ship being chased by the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, they treat them like ship battles, like a World War II
Yes.
ships. Like
Right.
with big cannons shooting at each other.
I mean, this is our point of reference at the time, right? Like, we haven't gone too far into the realm of science fiction to imagine these kinds of mechanics. It's kind of
Yes.
like we're thinking in the way that we think ships fought on the ocean,
Exactly.
but doing that in space.
I assume also a lot of it is just technical limitations and
Right.
what you can and can't actually film at the point in time.
Right. Another thing to talk about is how old-timey the lightsaber fight is.
Oh, yes.
It's like, this is very boring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to be, and I mean, with hindsight, this is how the stories have changed.
Yeah.
This is actually Obi-Wan and Anakin's like penultimate final
Yes.
battle.
This is like their third fight.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of just two old dudes like
Yes.
swinging sticks
That's
at
the
each
thing.
other.
It is two old men.
Yes.
It's one very old man and one old man who's mostly a robot.
Yes.
You know. Well, I suppose even then, like the sword fights of the stuff like Errol Flynn movies
Okay.
that kind of inspired this.
Who's Errol Flynn?
He's an actor from like the 30s and 40s.
Okay.
Who was like Robin Hood and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And they would have like the big swashbuckly, like swoosh 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 fights.
Okay.
Like that stuff is still more kind of impressive than this.
Yes.
I assume a lot of it is just because it is Alec Guinness the whole time. It's not a stunt double,
Right.
you know. So it's just an old man with a big stick whacking at another like
Exactly.
big guy in a very limiting suit,
Yes.
you know.
Okay.
So, you know, I guess like lightsaber duels weren't like a thing that had been, again, it's just not a
exactly
thing
that,
had
we
been
had the
established.
time to build on and evolve
Yeah.
and evolve our understanding of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that like remake that those guys did of that?
That is a cool video.
It is pretty cool.
It's a nice project.
I wish they had done it in a way. The thing that, like, if I was going to do something like that, I would really like it to be made in a way where you could cut it into the movie and have it be kind of seamless.
Yes.
But the way that shot is like, it's like these handheld shots and the camera's like swooping
Oh,
around.
stylistically,
and-
it's nothing like Star
it looks
Wars at all.
nothing like Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, no,
It's like the
shoot
idea
it-
behind it's really cool, but it's
Yeah.
just like kind of make it look like Star Wars
yeah.
Episode 4.
And it is for like what it is super well for what they were trying to do with it. It's really well executed.
Yes.
It's,
No,
like,
it's amazing.
technically very
it's like
impressive.
super amazing.
I think it's called Scene 38 or something like that.
Okay, cool. We'll
I'll
link
look
that
it
in
up
the comments.
Yeah.
Okay, rad.
I'll
Yeah.
look that up.
How do we feel about Obi-Wan disappearing when he's sliced by Vader?
I don't know how to, because it's like this is the first time we establish it. Like
Yes.
He just goes poof into a Force ghost.
Yes.
I guess I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, this is why we'll get into this when we get into episode 8.
yeah.
But when Luke does his Force ghost hologram
Yeah.
trick and everyone loses their minds because that's not how the Force works.
Yes.
You're like, guys, he disappears into nothingness. Like, what are the rules of this thing?
Exactly.
Because you can do fucking anything
Yeah.
that you want with the Force, apparently.
Yes.
Because he just goes, "Pff," and he's gone.
He's gone, yeah.
So clearly he's like premeditated through death his transition into a Force ghost because of all his time meditating with Qui-Gon
Yeah.
and chatting to Yoda through the Force.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah. You know the whole Force ghost thing?
Yeah.
They come back as like Force ghosts. They can like come back from the Force, basically.
Yes.
Qui-Gon Jinn is the first one who ever did that.
Which is kind of bananas.
Yeah. I think they only established that in...
Like these thousands of years of Jedi.
Yeah. In one of the animated things. It wasn't Clone Wars. It was Tales of the Jedi or something.
Okay.
They established that he is the first one who's ever done that.
What's Tales of the Jedi for those who don't know?
It's a series of animated shorts that are on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Done in a very... They're clearly like connected to the Clone Wars. The animation style's a little bit different.
Yes.
Character designs are a little bit different, but it's done largely in that style. So there's Tales of the Jedi, there's Tales of the Empire, and there's Tales of the Underworld or something like that.
Oh, not the Sith.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, well, the Empire one kind of serves as that's like where they get
Okay.
into those ones. Are actually really cool because they get into Count Dooku a lot. But
Okay.
we're getting
So
off
more
track.
like further lore building for people to get into if you're interested
Exactly.
in how the movie lives beyond itself.
Yes.
Yes, episode 4, cool. I mean, like, it's still highly ranked on all platforms. I mean, how much do we know how much money it ended up making?
In total, including the 1997 re-release, which did really well, it made $775 million.
775 million.
Yeah, at the time. So I was looking into this. It's actually kind of hard to find these numbers of what it actually made in 1977, but
Yeah?
I think it's around $530 million.
Is that adjusted for inflation, or is that
Oh no,
that
no,
is
adjusted for inflation, it's like way above $1 billion.
that is fucking insane.
Yeah.
That's $500 million in
Yes.
1977.
So as a point of comparison, the second highest grossing film of the year was Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which made $340 million. The previous year's highest grossing film was Rocky, which made $225.
What?
Yeah. And then the year before that was the previous film that kind of set the benchmark for the invented the blockbuster, which was Jaws,
Yeah.
which made about $470 million.
What?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So Star Wars came along and made, again, it's hard to find that exact number. The US box office is pretty easy to find. It's the international box office that's kind of hard to button down. And then because the re-release, the 97 one in particular, made like more than $100 million just on that re-release. And it cost $11 million.
It only cost $11 million
Yeah.
and it made $500 million.
Yeah.
George was balling, dude.
Right? It was also, this is something that hasn't happened in Star Wars since, it was nominated for 11 Oscars.
Episode 4.
Yeah.
No, I did not know
It
that.
was nominated and it won 6.
Okay, wait, let's get into this.
So it was, I can tell you, it was nominated for Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor for Alec Guinness, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, or what we now call Original Screenplay.
Yeah.
And then it won Best, so this is another one they've changed. It won Best Art Direction, Direction, Set Decoration.
Okay.
So I assume they kind of split things up. I think that's what we now call production design.
Yes.
So it won production design, it won costume design, it won sound, it won editing, it won visual effects, it won score. It also, so the sound design kind of categories have changed a lot. It won Best Sound, but then it also won a Special Achievement Award for sound effects.
Okay.
And then it also won a Science and Engineering Award for the Dijkstraflex.
Oh, bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like kind of cleaned up at the
It
Oscars.
cleaned up a lot.
And got like getting a Best Picture nomination, Best Director nomination.
That's massive.
Yeah.
It's actually massive for this kind of movie in that time.
It was super well, like it was really, really well received.
Jeepers.
Like critically, obviously fans loved it, but it was critically really well received as well.
And now it's number 29 on IMDb's top 250 movies,
Okay.
which is nothing to scoff at. I
Yeah.
mean, like, this is a very serious aggregation of, some of the best films of all time in the general audience sentiment. So I
Yes.
think I tend to trust in these kinds of things, This film has got a legacy. It's still loved. It's still fresh to a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely amazing.
Like, it's still beloved for a reason.
yes.
I really like this movie.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite of the lot, but I really like it.
Mm.
And all the iconography comes from this movie. Anytime somebody, like, in future Star Wars stuff, every time they replicate stuff, it's always stuff from A New Hope.
Right.
It's big triangle spaceships, it's X-Wings, it's lightsabers. All the stuff that has been recreated again and again and again is from this movie,
Right.
you know?
Exactly. It is the benchmark.
Yeah. Like, they don't try and repeat Yoda, not that often. I mean, Baby Yoda is a completely different character to
Yes.
Yoda,
Yeah.
other than aesthetically. Like, they don't try and recreate that. They don't try and recreate the, no, I am your father scene.
Yeah. Or they don't
always
recreate
stuff from
Yeah.
A New Hope.
The at-ats
Yeah.
from episode 5. I suppose that's a good segue into, I mean, after watching it last night, it just convinced me again that this is one of the greatest films ever made.
Yeah.
Episode 5 is a goddamn masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's 100% still going to be in my top 3.
Yeah.
I think top 5. It is unbelievably good.
Yep.
And I think as a film that builds on the quality and the good aspects of the film that came before it, the way it expands everything,
Yeah.
both in terms of like the visuals, the direction, the competency of storytelling in this, it is an exceptional movie.
Yep. A lot of that, I assume at least a lot of that has to do with Lawrence Kasdan.
Right. And for those who don't know, Lawrence Kasdan was the writer that George brought on
Yep.
to write episode 5 with him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because
Yeah.
they co-wrote it.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Then also, it's directed by George Lucas's film studies lecturer, Irvin Kershner,
Yeah.
who George approached to direct.
Yes.
Did he approach anyone else to direct this?
I don't actually know.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did it for this one. I know they did for others, but
Yes.
I don't know about this one.
Okay. Interesting. But then, I don't know, those people who say those who can't do teach clearly have never seen
Yes.
how good Irvin Kershner's directing is in
Right.
episode 5.
Yeah.
Every choice is good.
Yeah.
Every choice is just perfect. And also, I think Mark Hamill's best performance out of all the Star Wars films.
I agree.
100%.
I agree.
The best thing about this film is like it takes that archetypal hero who's pretty two-dimensional and suddenly creates this character that's burdened by destiny.
Yes.
But then within this space of him being like a virtuous good person and a good friend, he's also burdened by destiny, like we said, but then reckless as hell.
Yes. Exactly.
Because if you make a hero that's reckless, you have them charging into danger, unheeding of any potential consequences.
Exactly.
Right? Which sets up a really interesting situation with Vader. The other thing that it does well that I love is it kind of takes the Millennium Falcon, which is the ship that's pretty badass in the first movie.
Yes.
Right? It can outrun Imperial Starfleets, whatever they say. And then they make it break down the whole time.
Exactly.
So you have a car chase movie,
Yeah.
essentially, but the hero's car is never functioning.
Yes.
So the cool thing about that, Stephen King talks about the fact that he like doesn't really plot out where his books go.
Okay.
He likes to have his characters reveal what they do in situations.
Right.
And I think about that a lot with this, where you have this Millennium Falcon that's always breaking down, and you're being chased by Nazis,
Right.
right? And it's kind of like, what do you do in order to not get caught and stay alive?
Okay.
And the resourcefulness that your characters have to have in that situation is going to make for something much more entertaining
Yeah.
than just a car chase sequence that's visually impressive.
Exactly.
Right? Because characters are problem solving with each other, they're getting impatient. Like the amount of time that Han shouts at Chewie in this movie, like they're like best friends, obviously. Like we kind of know this from the previous film. But the amount of times he's shouting at him, like, what did you do? Why did you put this there? When he's trying to fix the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Like the amount of layers that start to get unlocked by these script writing choices are fascinating to me, because it's just like it's about revealing characters in themselves, who they are, and then also revealing the relationships between characters in ways that we've never seen before.
Exactly.
Like the love triangle between Luke, Han, and Leia is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's creepy, but it's brilliant.
Yes. In hindsight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like we're all sitting there watching that kiss, and you're like, no,
Yeah.
oh no.
They also do something I really like it when, I assume it's like a director's choice, when during a dialogue scene, give your character something to do.
Yes.
So they're not just standing
This
there.
is the
like,
worst thing about
talking.
Stranger Things.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they're these like young young actors
Yeah.
who are brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're bad actors. I'm saying they're inexperienced actors with direction that could be better.
Right.
Is that there's 4 of them standing in a scene doing nothing, talking about the plan.
Okay.
And then these kids don't know what to do with their hands. So when
Yes.
they're talking, they're very awkwardly gesticulating with their hands.
Right.
You know, it's like a bad acting thing.
Yes.
It's like people don't know what to do with their hands. So
Yeah.
you give them something
Because
to
what do
do
you
all
do
the
with
time.
your hands?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So where were you going with this?
I'm just saying that's something I really like. You see it a lot in this film.
Right.
Like as conversations are going back and forth, Han's like fixing the ship,
Yes.
you know, all that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Like,
Like
they do that all the time in this movie, and it's great.
like Leia's working over someone else's shoulder, looking
Mm.
at maps.
even when like Yoda and Luke are talking, Luke's like moving around, like preparing food, pulling like
Yes.
just doing things constantly. There's very few moments where the characters are just still looking at each other and talking.
Exactly.
It just seems to make for natural performances for whatever reason.
And I mean, like when they are just standing at each other talking, it's Han in the passageway of Hoth trying to tell Leia that she loves him and she
Yes.
doesn't know it.
Yeah,
And he also doesn't want to say that.
exactly.
It's my favorite thing about this movie is Han Solo. It is unreal how well this character is written.
Yeah.
Because he's like desperately in love with her, but he's frustrated at how much she is refusing to acknowledge
Yes.
it. So he's trying to pull it out of her the entire time.
Exactly.
And the way he's just like pointing at it the entire time aggressively, like, that's not it. You know, like, where you say you want me to stay around because of the way you feel about me. And she's like, yeah, you're an incredible fighter. Well, you're a great asset in this war. He's like, no, that's not it. You know it. It's so brilliant. And I love how much she refuses to accept the fact that she loves this man.
Exactly.
It's just like, not him.
Yeah.
Anyone but him. He's like
Exactly.
a piece of shit scoundrel.
Exactly.
But I am in love with him completely. That is the cool arc. Leia's arc is all about accepting her love for Han. And again, it's brilliant to watch someone just wrangling with this impossible problem.
Yeah.
And then, what better to do than to make them trapped on a broken down ship running away from the Empire together?
Yes.
Because she was going to go on her own transport.
Exactly.
But narratively, we know that we have to have inter-character conflicts.
Yeah.
Right? So this storytelling in this script is just so fucking good. It is so brilliant. And also, the greatest film soundtrack ever written.
Oh, it's incredible, dude.
Like, for some reason, a lot of people will talk about episode 4. Like, I see this online when
Yes.
you talk about the film soundtracks. Everyone will quote episode 4 because it's the first Star Wars movie. I'm like, no, it's the inferior soundtrack.
Yes.
Because John is always repurposing the fanfare throughout the
Yeah.
entire movie because he
Yeah,
doesn't have as many motifs. In this, you have the Imperial March
Yep.
for the first time.
Yep.
You have Yoda's theme.
Yep.
You have Han and Leia's theme,
Yep.
which is the best
It's incredible.
love theme ever written in cinema. Like, don't come to me with your Dr. Zhivago shit. I don't give a fuck what you have to say. That Han and Leia theme is the best.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. No, I adore
Even
it.
little cues. I love the cue where it cuts to a shot of the like snow speeder things, like just like shooting across
Yes.
the thing, just like that little. It's like I don't think it's used anywhere else.
It's a French horn theme.
It's
Yeah.
so cool. So like all of these things are so memorable.
Yes.
They just like stick with you.
And I think what I'm going to say is the asteroid sequence, the asteroid car chase.
Yes.
Again, how do you make a car chase? I know I'm saying car chase, people with spaceships. It's a car chase sequence in
Exactly.
space, right?
Yeah.
This is like the action archetype that we're dealing with,
Yeah.
the cinematic language that we're dealing with. How do you make that more interesting? You put it in an asteroid field.
Exactly.
So there are more obstacles, right? This is stuff that seems obvious,
Yeah.
but these are incredible decisions that hadn't been made before.
Yes.
And I think John Williams' action soundtrack, because John Williams has got a very repeatable action soundtrack sound. You know, it's like low strings going
Yes.
like a whole bunch of little, like very 16th notey, drivey kind of orchestration.
Cool.
And this scene is the best work he's ever done.
Cool.
By far. It's like, go listen to that again. I remember pianists will know sheet music boss on YouTube
Okay. Right.
that do really cool transcriptions. And they did a transcription of the asteroid field sequence,
Okay.
which is weird. They don't have a transcription for Han and Leia's theme, but it's fan requested, like things that they transcribe.
Okay.
So this scene has been requested, which I found really interesting.
Okay.
Because like, how do that many people request that for them to have to arrange it? Because it's a big deal to arrange these songs for piano.
Yeah.
Orchestra reductions are nuts. I digress. It is such a good film.
Yeah. It's a wonderful movie. And like going back to Luke, like we said before, he's just a blank slate in the first movie.
Yes.
And then this is the one where they go like, I love Luke Skywalker as a character, because he is, I mean, first of all, he's whiny. Luke is always whiny, and he'll always be whiny, and it's always funny for some reason.
Yeah.
But he's also heroic, and he's selfless, and he's impatient, and he's all these things. But most of all, the thing that they introduce here that drives his character across the next two films is Luke is conflicted.
Right.
And that like conflict
Right.
is just like everything to that character. Luke being conflicted. It's like my favorite kind of character is a conflicted hero.
Yes.
You know?
How would you describe his conflicts in Empire?
Well, Luke is a really clear example of want versus need. This is this thing we talk about in screenwriting all the time, about how your character wants one thing, but they need something else, and those things are in conflict with each other.
Right.
Luke's need is to train with Yoda and become a Jedi, but his
Yes.
want is to save his friends, and he can't have both.
Yes.
And I think it's really effective.
It
here.
does work effectively.
And then when we see his choices, he chooses his want over his need,
Yes.
and it obviously
Backfires
backfires
in his face.
Exactly.
Right.
It's great. It's
I mean, it ends with
screenwriting
him.
101.
It ends with him committing suicide.
Yeah, in a way, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, like, I don't think people recognize this in the sequence because of how it's been dressed to not be suicide.
Yes.
It is 100% a suicide
Yeah,
attempt.
it's I would rather die than join you.
Exactly. And I think it kind of feels like the way they've edited it, the way they've scored it, is to make it look like he makes the choice to escape that way,
Yes.
not to die. He goes to escape down one of those vents.
Yeah.
Because the music's also like super playful. Yeah, it's like a little descending, little
Yes.
like, oh no, I'm falling.
But he survives like purely by luck.
Purely by luck.
Yeah.
Right? So this is our hero killing himself. And I think they figured out, all the children that love Star Wars
Yes.
can't handle the fact that Luke Skywalker is committing suicide.
Exactly.
And that's why this film is so good in terms of the degrees to which it pushes its conflicts. Right? It's not half-arsing any of it.
Yeah.
It's like really putting characters in the worst possible situations,
Yes.
right? Like, what is the worst thing that Luke Skywalker can hear?
Yeah.
Is that like Hitler is his dad,
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, we'll get into episode 6.
Yeah.
Bookmark that. You mentioned earlier that Yoda's talking about telling Luke to stay trained, and that's his need. This is what's best for him.
Exactly.
And to return to our conversation that we had in the prequel trilogy about the arrogance of the Jedi,
Yes.
where they are determined, I know this is what's best for Luke right now, but this is also like a strong certainty of where they think things should go.
Yeah.
And not letting things move and change. The friend that I was watching this with last night, it's always good to watch familiar movies with a new person.
Right.
Because then hopefully if they're a person that talks with movies, please be that person with me. I'm not this
Yes.
person who's like silent during movies. We can pause a movie and chat about it. Who was talking about the fact that when Luke asks him questions, Luke is undergoing a Socratelian exercise here.
Okay.
He's like, why?
Yes.
Which is fine. Curiosity is good.
Yeah.
Yoda responds, no, there are no fucking questions. Shut up.
Yes.
And you're sitting there going, hang on, this is supposed to be some Zen Jedi master
Yeah.
who's getting emotionally dysregulated with this child that he's trying to train.
Yes.
And you're kind of thinking to yourself, why is such a bad question?
Yes.
And for me, we launched into an entire chat about our Christian upbringings.
Okay.
Where it's like, why was not tolerated if something is absolutely true?
Right.
Because the answer is, it is the way it is.
Right.
You don't question that.
Okay.
And I think in Yoda's context, to know that he's dealing with, my friend said, in Yoda's context, to know that he's dealing with Anakin's son and to have all the context he knows around what went wrong with Anakin.
Right.
And a couple of decades to ruminate about it and the consequences of the destruction of the Jedi.
Right.
He kind of doesn't learn his lesson with training
Yes.
Luke.
Yes. This is what I was saying, because I thought about this a lot. I've been taking notes for when we get to episode 8,
Okay.
and that kind of plays into that.
Yes.
Because when these films were being made, the prequels didn't exist.
Yes.
So the context
Absolutely.
of the prequels couldn't be applied to these.
Yes.
So we as the audience
Yes.
have to make assumptions based on the context we were now given outside of this. So even if there's no intention to these things in this movie,
Yes.
we now have to give them intention based on what we know.
Yes.
And what we know is that Obi-Wan and Yoda haven't learned a fucking thing.
Yes.
You know, they haven't yet realized the Jedi's role in their own destruction.
Yes.
Like we as the audience have to infer that,
Yes.
which is interesting.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
It is super interesting because then it's that thing of the artist dies. A lot of people talk about this in the sense that when you read a text,
Yeah.
you can separate the text from the artist and their worldviews and their
Yes.
prejudices and their beliefs.
Okay.
It's not what it means. A lot of people talk about the separation of the art and the artist as an expression of the artist's eyes. What it means is that when art is created by the artist and it goes out into the world, it no longer belongs to them.
Yeah.
It's the audience who then takes this piece of art and then interprets their own meaning onto it, which is just as valid
Yeah.
as the artist's intention, right?
Yep.
And it's this thing of how we're now looking at these stories, like you say, with these different contexts, and we're extrapolating all these other reasonings and rationales onto character motivations and
Exactly.
choices that may or may not even have been there in the first place. But we say this is point A.
Yes.
Oh, this is point A, but now it's point B because there's a new point A when we've created the prequel trilogy,
Exactly.
right? So we're saying they're going, Yoda's a puss, dude.
Right. Yeah.
that's like where we are in episode 5.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. It's frustrating to watch. When I went to the UK on holiday, I went to the Milton Keynes Science Fiction Museum,
Oh, cool.
and I saw that shot of Yoda leaning over, going into Luke's lunchbox, and you see his little 3-pronged feet.
Yes.
I saw those feet at the Science Fiction Museum.
Right.
They look like shit now, dude.
Yeah, I would imagine.
They're like completely degraded styrofoam.
Yeah.
I think it's like a super hard kind of styrofoam or something that they used to create, or molded it around.
Okay.
And all of the like encasing is like rotted away,
Right.
and some of the styrofoam is peeling back. You know,
Yes.
so interesting to see that little like how much it's aged and how practical it is, but really
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's rad.
yeah,
Yeah, but I think, looking at them in the context of the prequels,
yes,
like does change the meaning of whatever they were originally intended to be. Like
Yes.
it's unavoidable,
yeah.
I don't think it makes it worse. In some ways, it makes it more interesting.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
It makes it more interesting.
Yeah,
But it's just like we can have these very interesting conversations about characters.
exactly.
As a result of that.
Yep.
The one thing that irritates me is the title crawl says that rebels escaping to a snow planet Hoth led
Yes.
by Luke Skywalker.
Okay.
And you're like, no, he's not. He's not leading them.
Yeah, he's just a pilot.
Yeah, he's just a pilot.
Yeah,
Leia's leading them. Leia's the general.
exactly.
And you even see her coordinating the strategy with the pilots that are going to fight the 80s
Yes.
AT-ATs as the rest of the rebel alliance are escaping on the ships, right? Yeah, it's just this interesting erasure of Leia's importance as a
Right.
military general that happens throughout the films,
Yes.
throughout 1, 2, and 3. We'll talk about where it goes in 3, which
Yeah.
kind of irritates the hell out of
Yeah.
me. But it's very clear when you're starting episode 4 that she is a key figure in this rebel alliance, coordinating efforts, working at a high level. And then it's the person at the end that awards them their medals, except for Chewbacca because they're racists. And then in the beginning, you see her being so incredibly active and
Yeah.
coordinating and being this person in charge.
Exactly.
But then even in the beginning, we can't acknowledge that.
Right.
And I'm just very curious about it. But then she does become a person that's involved in a love triangle, which is like a very typical trajectory for a woman in films like these. And then I think it just goes downhill with episode 6, which
Yeah.
is why it's the weakest of the original trilogy
Yes.
for me.
Yeah.
Just wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, we will.
And like be conscious of Leia's arc in these movies.
Okay.
But then also, why does the Tauntaun die and Han doesn't die when it's super cold outside?
I don't know.
Because the Tauntaun is a native species to this planet.
Is it?
Oh, was it brought in?
We don't know.
Oh, okay.
Also, it's like, even all the animals here are native to this planet, but animals still die of exposure.
Yes.
Like it happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is fair.
Yeah.
But then, like, this thing has got layers of fat and
Yes.
fur to keep it warm. Han has got like a winter jumper on.
But it's like it's a
space jumper.
Yeah, it's a jumper from a society that has created space, like intergalactic travel. So I assume they have some sort of wonderful
Oh, that
material.
I can't believe I never thought of that because I was just looking at Han up in the
Yeah.
elements and this fucking Tauntaun dies. You're like, that's like a bison dying.
Yes.
And a man next to the bison being like, oh, okay.
Maybe
it's
it had a
fine."
heart attack. We don't know. Or like a stroke.
It might not have been the cold.
Right.
Sorry, they do say that it's going to die from the cold.
Yes.
I'm just being like, your Tauntaun's going to have a heart attack because of how cold it is. It's that the cold isn't going to kill it.
Yeah.
It's just going to be so upset that it's as cold as it is and just passes out.
Right. Okay, something that I find interesting we're like layering praise and everything onto this movie. At the time, it wasn't super well received.
What?
By critics, especially.
Okay, I'm very interested in talking about
It was not
this.
very well received.
Yeah?
It was like mixed. I think a lot of it was, a lot of critics felt that because of the very like comic booky poppy nature of the first one, that foundation couldn't support the dramatic weight that this has.
Oh.
Yeah, they really felt like the drama isn't suited to what they've established Star Wars to be.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
You're saying this is too deep for something that's not very deep at all.
Yeah, they're kind of saying like they're trying to put too much on this, space wizard movie.
Yes.
Also, Irvin Kershner was kind of criticized for critics were saying like his style of directing is at odds with the style of what Star Wars is. Like his previous films were not. I'm actually not sure what he worked on before this, but they were kind of saying that is, his style of filmmaking doesn't suit the style and pace. Like particularly, we look at Star Wars, like the 70s Star Wars now, and they feel almost slow and like.
Yes.
But at the time, they were actually criticized for moving too quickly.
Right.
Like non-stop movies.
Right.
Just like, editing trends have changed so much.
Yeah, films were a lot slower back then on
but
average.
That's kind of how at least a percentage of critics felt about it at the time.
It's so interesting that films need time to establish their legacy, right?
Yeah.
In the consciousness. We need to just see what does time do to a film's popularity.
Yeah.
And it's just so obvious to me that this is the best directing work in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like by a mile.
And writing.
Like nothing comes close to this like lightning in a bottle combination of all of these elements to create like one of the perfect movies.
Yeah.
I mean, now it is top 15. It's 15th place on IMDb's top 250.
Okay.
And it's 16th place on Letterboxd's top 250.
Jeez.
And has a rating of 4.4 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
It was number 1 on Empire's top 250 at one point.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I love that Empire list.
Yeah.
I do love the Empire lists because those are voted on for the people who don't know. Readers of Empire, like maybe like 10,000 of them, I think I remember it being that. And then it's like 500 industry professionals and film critics.
Mm.
So it's like they would include Steven Spielberg's top 10 and
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino's top 10 and Ridley Scott's top 10.
We need to talk about that on the main show. Did you see Quentin Tarantino's top 20 of the 20th?
I didn't see his top 20, but I saw what he said about Paul Dano.
Yes. Okay.
Which I'm like,
we'll
not
talk about
cool.
that on the regular show at some
Yeah,
point.
we will.
Well,
must get
probably
into
by the
that.
time you hear this, we probably will have already spoken. about it.
Exactly. But Empire is just a fucking masterpiece, and I'm not interested in what any other Star Wars fan has to say when they come to me and they say, like, Episode 3 is better than Episode 5, and I'm like, you ostensibly, empirically, do not know what you're talking about. I'm not interested in what you have to say to me.
Exactly.
If you think that Episode 3 is better than Episode 5,
Right.
you are just flagrantly wrong.
Right.
So, going from. Is that all you have to say about Empire?
Well, I kind of want to talk about the stuff I spoke about at the end of the last one. This one, previous one nominated for 11 Oscars. This one only won 2 Oscars. So I guess at the time they didn't always do visual effects. It was only when there were like movies that were worth it. So this one got a Special Achievement Award for visual effects.
Okay.
And then it got Best Sound, and then it was nominated for Art Direction and nominated for Music.
Okay.
So 4 nominations and 2 wins.
I don't care what won that year, but John
wild.
Williams should have won Best Score Soundtrack.
100%. He did win for the first one, but this one is just like...
This is like...
It's glorious.
Like everything in this movie, it's just like 5 levels better.
In 77, Close Encounters should have won
Yes.
over Star Wars.
Yes.
And then they should have won this year. I'm not sure what did get it this year. I can look into it. Hey, another editor note here. It was Fame that won. And no, you don't know what it sounds like. No one does. And then it cost $18 million. And in total, including re-releases, it has made $550 million.
Jesus.
Which is interesting considering it's quite a lot less than A New Hope.
Right.
Which is... This is something you see like directed at The Last Jedi a lot is, well, it made less money than The Force Awakens. Sequels almost always make less money than what came before them.
Seriously.
Almost always.
Except for James Cameron because he breaks every record.
Yes.
You know that.
Well, even Avatar 2 didn't make as much as Avatar.
Oh, I thought it did.
No.
I thought it made more.
Avatar's still number 1, still the most successful movie.
I thought that 2 made more. I don't know why I thought about that.
It's
Maybe it was the
Avatar,
opening that was
Endgame.
bigger.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Avatar, Endgame, then Avatar 2 are the top 3.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Jimmy Cameron. But yeah, I kind of just want to see how these films live in the future to establish whether or not, you know, they have been successes. Okay, so let's move on to Return of the Jedi.
Let's do that.
Directed by Ross Marquand.
Yes.
Also written by Lawrence Kasdan.
I believe so.
Okay, and George.
And George, yes.
Obviously. Okay, which is something that should have been done for the rest of the films.
Yes.
But we'll talk about that later, I guess. So, what are your overall thoughts on this?
I think it's the weakest of the original trilogy.
Agreed.
It's especially after the kind of tonal evolution of Empire Strikes Back, taking this back to like a much more juvenile kind of cutesy,
Right.
toy-centric
Yeah.
kind of thing. Really kind of it just feels like a step backward as opposed to the big step forward that Empire Strikes Back was.
Yes. What's that song? Ooh, that chick sings with her whole pussy out, dude. She is living her best life. Do you know this is, for those who aren't catching on fast enough, this is the entertainment in Jabba the Hutt's palace.
Yes.
And do you know that those were originally going to be puppets?
Yes.
Well, were they originally puppets?
They shot them with puppets, and
so they shot them with puppets.
Or at least
and
they
then,
started shooting them with puppets. I don't know if they even completed it or not.
right. And then, obviously, in the 97 re-release, they became full CG.
Exactly, yeah.
And Joseph Williams, who's now the lead singer of Toto and son of John Williams, wrote the lyrics to that song in English.
Okay.
Because it would have been impressive if he wrote them in Huttonese.
Yes.
And then they were translated into Huttonese. So that's an interesting fact. So I saw it in a reel the other day.
Right.
I really want to see the original puppets because it looks so cool.
I think there's some little bits and pieces of footage out there of what they look like.
I'm actually really disappointed that Disney hasn't been capitalist about this.
Oh, right.
In terms of releasing the original cuts of the OG trilogy.
Yeah, they're going to.
Are they going to now?
For the 50th anniversary.
Okay, that does track.
At least of A New Hope. I don't know if they're doing the whole trilogy, but they're doing A New Hope at least.
Shit, dude. Because that feels like such an easy cap thing for them to capitalize on.
I think there was probably something in their contract with George Lucas saying that they had to not do it for at least a certain period of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That does track. George, for some reason, wants his newer versions to be the definitive versions. Yeah. Right? Yeah, I completely agree with you about the tonal shift. I remember the biggest issue I have with it is that Luke's a Jedi at the start of the film.
Right.
And it feels like that trilogy is an arc of him becoming a Jedi. But then you basically cut off this giant chunk of him becoming a Jedi.
Exactly. We miss a step there.
Yeah. Right? And then you have this person at the end of The Empire Strikes Back who is completely broken, just attempted suicide, has found out his father is the most evil person in the universe, is completely disillusioned, going through an identity crisis.
Exactly.
We cut into Return of the Jedi, and he's just like, I am a Jedi.
Yes.
I am like all, I don't know, peaceful.
Exactly.
And all in control of my emotions.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid of you, Jabba. I'm just like...
How did that happen?
Yeah. How did it happen?
How did he become that person?
And I know people are going to say, go read the comics, go read the books.
Shouldn't have to.
Shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
Not
Especially
at all.
at that period of time. There was nothing to expand it at that point in time.
Oh, I thought there was. Or was that after the trilogy release that
like
George
all the
started the EU?
universe stuff was... at least there wasn't much filling in between the movies. There certainly wouldn't have been anything like that.
Doesn't make any sense. Start with him going back to Dagobah to Yoda.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
Like, what is Luke doing?
Exactly.
To try and become a Jedi. And why is he so intent on becoming a Jedi if he's now afraid that he's going to be like his father?
Yeah.
Or, if he has the same kind of evil within him. And then, maybe this is jumping the gun a bit in terms of the chat, but the entire thing around Luke saying that there is good in my father, I can feel it.
Yes.
It's like the worst narrative decision in this OG trilogy.
Right.
And it's been carried on into the criticisms of The Last Jedi as this thing that's an integral into who Luke is. He's this like naive, hopeful child that's going to see the good in everyone.
Exactly.
Like completely virtuous, morally righteous, right? Just like, that's not an interesting character.
No.
Sorry. And it just doesn't make any sense narratively. So in script writing, when you write, characters revealed through action, right? If you're telling us that Luke just believes his father's good, we've seen no evidence of that.
Exactly, yes.
None.
This is my biggest issue with this is it's tell, don't show.
Yes.
We we're repeatedly told that there's good in Darth Vader.
Yes.
But we never see it. There's no,
No,
like evidence of that for the audience.
So the audience can't sympathize with the character.
Exactly.
Right, which is like a cinematic sin.
Yeah.
Right, that's a big problem. And then, yeah, Luke, I mean, like, what has Luke seen? And then also you intangibly say, oh, he can sense it through the Force, which I'm just like, that's dramatically nothing.
Yeah.
Like, we can't see that as an audience.
Exactly.
So that entire thing just never made sense to me. And it makes him so flat throughout the entire movie because he's just like, there's good in him. I can feel it. There's good in him. I can feel it. And you're just like, guy, come on. Like, there's no reason you should believe that as a smart Jedi.
Yes.
Right? So I really don't like that about Luke's character. I think if something had been written into the story to give Luke a sense of something being in Vader. But his last encounter with Vader was pretty shit. The guy cut off his hand.
Yeah.
It was like, join me, come over to the dark side. There's no good in that guy.
Exactly.
So how does he know?
Yeah.
Right?
He has no reason to believe it to be true. Or if he does, where's the audience have no insight into it?
Yes.
Because it's happening like through the Force or whatever.
Yeah. And I mean, as a director, as a writer, you are what Chris Nolan says, the chaperone through the story. You guide the audience through the story, right? You're the person that gives them the information they need to understand the plots, to feel it in the correct way or the way that you intend.
Yeah.
And that's just not happening here.
Yes.
Another criticism I have of this movie is what it does to Leia's character.
I was going to say the same thing.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was actually having an argument with my friend Alex, who I was watching the movie with.
Right.
We were chatting through it because I was telling him my biggest issue with it is that Leia's set up to be this general.
Yes.
Right? In the first movie, she's the person handing out the medals.
Yeah.
She is a damsel in distress at the start of it, but she very quickly takes charge. At the start of Empire Strikes Back, we see her coordinating strategy with the pilots in the control room. And then when we come into Return of the Jedi, Mon Mothma is kind of like this new figure that's now the leader of the rebellion.
Yeah.
And doing this is how we destroyed the Death Star chat. But then I think the frustrating thing is that they promote Han.
Yeah, he's a general for some reason.
And you're just like,
why is he a general?
No, Han. I guess he's a really good pilot.
Yeah.
But is he a what is the word? Strategy man.
Yeah, there you go.
Is he a strategy man? Like, is that in his field of expertise?
No.
Has he been doing it for as long as Leia has?
Yeah, exactly.
And it kind of just feels like this gross misogynistic swipe,
so
into the film
strange.
where you're just like, it's Leia. She's right there.
Yeah.
The guy, Alex, my friend that I was watching it with, was saying that, no, because she's been away trying to find Han and she's been like doing Luke's like entire little escapades. So they must have found someone to replace him. I'm like, yeah, but when she's back, then make Han the general.
Exactly.
And that doesn't make any sense. And I think it's bad for Han's character. I don't think it's good for Han's character. I don't think Han is a part of the rebellion in that way, like getting a title, getting a little military badge, you know? He's the third party that is supportive of it, that is involved. But he's like the ace in the hole, man. He's the Millennium Falcon that's going to pull in, you know? So, yeah, big problem for me.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's frustrating as hell.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's fun.
It is pretty
points.
fun. Like as in terms of George Lucas's intent of these being kids' movies. They, I mean, you probably loved this as a kid.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so did I.
Absolutely.
You know.
I mean, like, it does have some of the best action sequences.
Yeah, I think by this point they had really gotten a handle on how to do, all the stuff that they invented for A New Hope.
Right.
They're kind of perfected by this point.
Right.
So instead of having like 2 spaceships going, there's like 20 spaceships going.
Yeah, exactly. So they figured that out. And then, also, fuck, I can't think of it offhand.
Yeah.
But I get really excited watching this movie every time I do that, when they do the whole Bravo Leader, Alpha Leader, Red 2, Red 3 thing.
Yes.
And then they attack the new Death Star.
Yeah.
The song that plays there is so good.
Cool.
It is like a top tier. I know there's so many. Like, let's say top 15 Star Wars motifs from John Williams, which they're probably like 50. I don't know.
Yes.
But it's up there. Every time it comes on, I'm like jamming. I'm like, yes, fucking Rebellion. It's so good. But yeah, like the Jabba's barge sequence with Luke and the Sarlacc and the pits, which used to be an anus.
Right.
I really want to see the anus. Like, does it like pucker and like breathe like an anus in the original?
No one has an answer for that question.
No, but now it's just a beak.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm still also it's like the childish side of George Lucas's storytelling
Yeah.
that kind of does damage to characters is when Boba Fett gets defeated.
Boba Fett is such a goof.
Dude.
I know, like, in comic books and video games and novels, he's like a cool, badass bounty hunter. His
Yeah.
on-screen time in the movies, he's the biggest idiot in this entire
Except for
trilogy.
Empire.
But even then, does he do anything?
No, but I mean, like, they established that he's this, like, brooding, calculating, skillful bounty hunter, and that's,
Yeah.
like, a good setup.
Yes.
You know, it's just like, I want him alive. And what does he say? Now with flipping...
Tamara Morrison's voice.
Tamara Morrison's voice. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. The original was so much better. But, yeah, in this one, you're just like, guy.
Yeah. He's such an idiot,
You're
dude.
just like,
his
he's such-
on-screen time where he's just like falling over and he can't, like, it's so funny if you watch, like, people have slowed down shots where he's like firing at someone and it's going off like 10 meters off to the side. He's not even close to hitting anyone.
God, dude.
There's that Robot Chicken short where Boba Fett's drunk.
It's
It's like, it's the only way to have this make sense is if he's drunk during this scene.
he got drunk on the sales bar because they're
Yes.
partying with Jabba.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. That's so funny, dude. But yeah, it does make perfect sense. He's falling over. He gets knocked over into the Sarlacc.
Yes.
It's just dumb. By a blind guy with a
Yeah.
stick. You're just like, fuck, dude.
Ugh, what an idiot.
Terrible. No, but the comedy between Chewie and Han in this is much better.
It's really good.
It's
Yeah.
really funny. Like, they're really honed in on that. And
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's like that's where they started that with the Empire Strikes Back. And then in this, they really developed it well.
Yes.
Oh, the other gross misogynistic thing is the slave Leia outfits.
Yes.
Just like, guys, this is... I mean, like, in the context of the story, it kind of makes sense. But,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, are Hutts into, like, objectifying human women?
Apparently they are.
Apparently?
Human-shaped woman.
Yes.
Because there's like other non-human,
Yeah, exactly. There's a
roughly human
Twi'lek.
woman. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Twi'lek slave. The Twi'lek slave isn't in a steel bra outfit, is she?
She sort of is. It's a different sort of outfit.
Okay.
That's when they did the special edition stuff, they added more scenes with their character. It's the same actress. Like
Oh,
20
wow.
years later.
Oh,
She
nuts.
just looks exactly the same.
Oh, go her. Drop the skin routine, girl.
Right?
Fucking hell. Love the Rancor.
It's so cool.
Rancor's very cool.
Yeah. It's a big puppet.
Sorry to that pig. What are their
Yes.
names?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, come on. I used to know this stuff. I got my Star Wars fact file when I was a kid. And I would like obsess over my Star Wars fact file.
Yeah.
And had all the EU stuff in it, which I was kind of not interested in.
Okay.
I was just a fan that wasn't really keen on that stuff. I was like, I want to
Yes.
know about the movies.
Right.
But yeah, like Return of the Jedi is, I think, a good film in like a general sense.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's necessarily a good continuation of the first two stories.
Yeah.
Right?
It does feel like there's a gap in these films.
Mm.
And not just like a period of time, like where significant things happened
Yes.
that we miss out on.
And then I think the biggest issue I have with it is like the crux of the film dramatically is Luke's potential turning to the dark side.
Yes.
And they play it off as this inner conflict with Luke.
Mm.
And I'm just looking at how Palpatine's manipulating him.
Yeah.
So we had an entire trilogy to manipulate Anakin into going to the dark side.
Yes.
Poorly, I might add.
Yeah.
But like still, the manipulation takes that long. It's
Mm.
that surreptitious. It's that calculated.
Yeah.
And then in Return of the Jedi, Palpatine meets Luke.
Yeah.
And he's like, be evil.
Yeah.
This is not a good way to turn someone to the dark side, surely. If he's a like morally righteous person that believes that his father's good,
Yes.
you're not going to get him to be evil
Yeah.
by telling him to be evil.
It's like your dad's evil, be evil too.
It's so lame.
You'll be cool and strong.
Yeah, it's more powerful.
Yeah.
You'll be stronger. You'll be Dak, bro. You'll be swole
Yeah.
in the Force.
Exactly.
It's that like entire scene just doesn't feel like an engaging thing to watch because you're
Okay.
not believing in the conflict and the drama that you're watching on screen,
Right.
right?
Yes.
I do love like what happens that's good
Mm.
is when Vader uses Leia against Luke and then he gets angry.
Yes.
So like, okay, cool. There we have it. Palpatine should be that guy.
Yeah.
Just saying. Palpatine should be that guy who can tap into his emotions that well because he's this mastermind Sith Lord.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, now we have the no when he throws Palpatine. which is dumb.
And going into the sequel trilogy, one of the last things that Luke does in these movies is try to beat his own father to death.
Right.
That's an important thing to keep in mind going into
right.
the sequels.
That is an important thing to keep in mind because people tend to forget
Luke
that.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to it
Because it's not like
next week.
if you understand how people work.
Yeah.
Talking to some fans here, you have that rage inside of you. It's going to be a constant effort for you to like keep that under control.
It's a part of who he is.
But then it's also going to come out.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Exactly.
Right? Like, you think about yourself. Like, I have moments where I don't know, maybe get angry and then I'll get triggered. It takes me, I'll react and then I'll have to like stop myself. And sometimes I do that well. Sometimes I do that poorly.
Exactly.
You know? So, I mean, think about like playing Dark Souls. How do you react when you play Dark Souls? Like, no matter like playing how many Soulsborne games, you play Elden Ring, you're still going to sit there and rage.
Exactly.
You know, so I don't know. It's a good thing to call out.
Yeah.
The greatest tragedy of this film is that we could have had a like penultimate battle against the Empire.
Yes.
On the Wookiee home planet.
Exactly. That was the original plan.
Yeah. What was George's thing there?
It was better to make little characters that would make good merchandising. So he invented the Ewoks.
Right.
Because they make better toys than Wookiees.
Who are like brutal, savage monsters, right?
Right.
Because
they're like land piranhas.
Totally. You go into their camp and there are a whole bunch of stormtrooper helmets.
Yes.
Well, like this is after the battle and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're going to cook Han alive. And you're just like, fuck, dude, these guys are serious.
Exactly.
They're totally going to eat them, you know? So they're not these beautifully adorable, plushy little things.
Exactly.
I saw a cool EU lore thing. Well, it's not
yes.
EU, I suppose. It's like beyond the films, if you will. That the reason they're so high up in trees is that there's this gigantic fucking 6-7 story Yeti shit that like prowls the forest and eats little Ewoks.
Right.
And that's why they're so high up in the trees.
Okay.
And also why they have all the traps set up
Yes.
that they use to destroy the little 2-legged walkers
Right.
in the forest.
Okay.
Yeah. Could have been cool to include, but
Yeah, that feels like something that
really-
someone made up as an explanation after the fact.
yeah, it's like it's in a comic book thing.
Yeah.
I think that's where I saw the pictures from. So
Yes.
it's a good thought.
Yeah.
It is a cool thought.
Yeah.
And the other greatest tragedy of the Return of the Jedi
Yeah.
is that we don't have Yub Nub, the absolute like jewel of John Williams's oeuvre.
Yes.
Oeuvre. How do you pronounce that word?
I can kind of understand
Oh, absolutely.
not ending. I know what Harrison Ford said was he never liked this one because ending this like huge trilogy with a teddy bear picnic just doesn't feel grand enough.
It doesn't feel grand enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep, nope. I remember Graeme and I watched Return of the Jedi once together a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And then we muted the movie and then put on the music for Yep so we could see what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Oh, it was funny. Yeah, so go check out Yub Nub if you haven't heard it. It's hilarious. Thank God it's not there anymore because that's like the kind of the children's entertainment side of George that we talk about.
Exactly.
That's kind of like understandable but low-key a bit irritating the older you get.
Exactly.
Right? Where it starts to become goofy.
Yes.
Like this is dumb.
Yep.
But it's what these movies are. It's in their DNA.
There's inherent silliness here.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
people often take them too seriously.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a balance there.
Absolutely. There's a good balance to strike.
Yeah. Which is a difficult thing to do. We may as well do this because I did it in the last couple.
Yeah?
Cost $32 million. It's the
Sure.
most expensive of the trilogy.
Okay.
Made 400, or in total, including re-releases, it made 480. Made around 380 million at the time.
Jeepers.
They were hits, man.
That comparison of budget to box office revenue is
Yes.
kind of nuts.
Yeah. But again, it made less than the previous two movies. Like Empire made less than A New Hope, and now this made less than Empire.
That is interesting.
Which is just a thing with
Star Wars
sequels.
movies.
Well, with sequels in general, most of them do. The first one is almost always the most successful.
That is odd.
Yeah.
So it's the same with like Jurassic World.
Same with Jurassic World.
I suppose it's not true for James Cameron, but he's James Cameron.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I suppose like Terminator or whatever. But then Terminator 2 is probably the most successful one, I would think.
Okay.
And then also awards. Got nominated for, again, I don't understand this category, art direction, set decoration.
As one category.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then sound effects, editing, and score, and then it won again a special achievement award in visual effects. So exactly the same as the previous.
So, like, if we look at those films in our era of Oscar movies, like the Star Wars OG trilogy by at least the Academy was very much treated to be this, like, I don't know, big blockbuster thing.
Yeah,
that
outside of
only
the
gets-
first one. The first one got like Best Picture, Best Director, Best Writer, all these nominations for all of those.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's like, here's your special effects award.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
It's like, here are your technical category awards.
Yeah.
you
They
know?
weren't like, the sequels weren't like critically super well received.
Okay.
They were like fine. Like I know a big criticism of this one was people felt Mark Hamill couldn't quite carry the dramatic weight that Luke needs in this one, which I disagree with. I think Mark
I
Hamill's
think
good
Mark
enough.
Hamill does a great job of it.
Yeah.
I think with like very superficial source material.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like character's not as well written as it is in The Empire Strikes Back by like a long shot.
Exactly.
There's far more depth there. And there's far much, like the directing is so much better that he's able to like pull out these nuances of his character. So I think it's got a lot to do with that. Wasn't there a thing around how much Ross Marquand directed this?
Well, yeah, kind of. I think the generally accepted thing is that George sort of directed this one, but because he was on the outs with the I think the Directors Guild and the Producers Guild, he wasn't a member of the guild, so he couldn't actually direct the movie when it was being made by an American studio.
Oh, fuck.
Like he wasn't allowed to if you're not part of the Directors Guild.
Okay.
And he left the guild after they fined him for putting the credits at the end of the movie in the first one. That was like a big deal at the time. Like you had to have the main credits up front.
Oh, nuts.
Yeah, and he put them at the end. And so they fined him like him in the studio quite a lot of money. And he was like, don't want to be a part of this, left the guild. So he couldn't actually direct any movies.
Okay, so he
part of the
was
Directors
kind
Guild.
of directing it behind the scenes, at least on
Yeah.
paper. Officially, he wasn't the director.
Yeah, but he was there like all the time for this one. More so than Empire, as far as I know.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Like bigger, badder Death Star. Like when people complain about it in The Force Awakens, I'm just like, they did it in fucking Return of the
Yeah.
Jedi, dude.
Yeah.
It's like if you have an ultimate weapon and it gets destroyed, you're gonna build it again.
Exactly.
You know?
If it's as ultimate as you think it is.
And you can give it an upgrade by making it consume a star.
Yes.
Like, duh.
But I love the design of like the half completed.
Oh, it's cool.
It looks really cool.
It looks really fucking cool.
The incomplete Death Star.
And I'm really curious to see how the final trench run in this movie looks in the original cut as opposed to the CG cut, because I'm guessing a lot of what we see.
I don't think in the sequels they replaced as much as they did in the first one. I think a lot of this
Really?
is still the original.
Because that would be
original
fucking
models.
impressive. If
Yeah.
that's what came out in 82,
83, I think.
83,
Yeah.
that would be damn impressive because it looks incredible.
Yeah.
I think like the direction of action in that sequence,
Yes.
when Lando's flying,
Yeah.
is really cool.
It's really like dynamic because they're in an interior space, so you can like feel the motion of it as opposed to like ships flying across a black background.
Yes.
It's kind of like they're just moving around
Yeah,
as
so it's
opposed
true.
to
You
getting a
can, like-
sense of speed and a sense of
Yeah,
motion.
you can feel that they're going fast, that they're doing like fucking vuss handbrake turns.
Yes.
You know? Remind me to talk about this in The Last Jedi.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
we talk about Lando piloting here. I think
Okay.
there's something important to point out.
Okay.
It's the reason why that movie is fucking awesome. So I think, are you happy to wrap up?
Yeah.
Or should we do we have a general note for the OG trilogy?
I think there's a very good reason why more than 40 years later, almost 50 years later, it's still as popular as it is and still held up in high regard.
Right.
And still so, iconic and revered. Because they're freaking classics. They are.
Absolutely.
They are. As much as like I will there's nothing that I won't criticize,
Of course.
but I like them far more than I dislike them. It's like inverse of the prequel trilogy.
I think like people need to understand that in the context of this chat.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like, I don't know if we said this about Star Wars when we said that no one hates Star Wars as much as a Star Wars fan.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you love something so much, you want it to be that good. You want it to be that perfect.
Mm.
And when you start to see the shortcomings, when you start to experience them, it's just something that frustrates you because you can understand the potential of how great it could be.
Yeah.
So we are like incredible fans of these movies.
Exactly.
We also grew up on them.
Yep.
I remember seeing the Drew Struzan 97 re-release posters.
Yes.
With that triptych.
Yeah.
And oh my God, dude, I remember just the impact that shit had on me. I was like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
That looks incredible.
Yeah.
Like it's just this way to absolutely captivate imagination, and the escapism of it is so pure and potent.
Yeah.
That you can just like fall into it so easily. I think like 40% of that legwork is being done by John Williams. I think we need to just like talk about how truly great his scoring is.
Yeah.
You know, it's unreal how well he can just completely like pull you into the action of a moment, the emotion of a moment, whether it's comedy, whether it's action, whether it's grief, whether it's terror. Man, he's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, the world is going to be a terrible place when he goes.
Yeah.
Is he coming out of retirement for Spielberg's new movie?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys got to compose until he goes, dude.
Right.
Absolutely. So, yeah, they're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful movies.
Yeah, I love them.
Empire Strikes Back is still the greatest film soundtrack ever made, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Like, nothing can ever top that.
I think Close Encounters is number one for me.
Oh, that's a good one.
Close Encounters and then Empire.
Yeah.
And then How to Train Your Dragon.
That's a good pick, Graeme.
Yeah.
At least you're not like Inception, Gladiator, like all the other dude bros out there. Sorry. I didn't mean to like criticize you if those are your favorites. I just hear it very often.
Yes.
Did we talk about where these sit on the lists online? The like aggregate rating lists?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. And of course they fucking changed this app so much.
Which app is this?
IMDb.
Oh, right.
It used to, well, on their website, you can find it like really quickly on the homepage.
Right.
So on IMDb's top 250,
Yes.
which I think is a really interesting way to aggregate general audience sentiments around like movies that are really popular. Empire is 15th.
Okay.
A New Hope is 29th, and Return of the Jedi is 92nd.
Right.
So I think a lot of people do agree that it's the weakest of the originals.
Yes.
And then in Letterboxd, Empire is 16th, but A New Hope is 106, so it's far down lower.
Oh, wow.
Well, that makes sense. Like Letterboxd, I think, is far more about cinema,
Yes.
you know, than like general, I don't know, like the films that are traditionally believed to be the greatest films of all time. And it's pretty evident that these films are, you know, that stand the test of time.
Exactly.
And that they're still loved.
Yep.
And for a very good reason, especially Empire.
Mm-hmm.
It is up there. So yeah, I think good job, George.
Yeah.
You made a great trilogy.
And Lawrence Kasdan and Irvin Kershner.
Yeah.
You know, all these guys.
Yeah. It's like incredibly pioneering work of filmmaking.
Oh, yeah. Hugely.
You know,
dude.
it's
Like
why we have Photoshop.
It changed cinema, like,
Yeah.
forever.
I mean, like, we can like draw a straight line from why you can edit on your phone to
Yes.
Star Wars. You know? So we need to be like really grateful for this. I think George was probably the most influential filmmaker of the 21st century, 20th century.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about like filmmaking influence on the form itself,
Yeah.
but we're talking about impact beyond film.
Yeah.
I think it's,
Filmmaking, like the actual making process.
yeah, like the craft of it.
George Lucas is like so important.
Yeah. He's an incredibly important person. We need to give him credit for that.
Exactly.
Go watch Industrial Light and Magic on Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah. It's called Light and Magic.
Light and Magic.
Yeah.
Which is like an incredibly interesting insight into the process behind these movies, but also with the focus on the technology as it developed through them.
Exactly.
And fascinating. God, it must have been a cool place to work.
Right?
I mean, stressful as fuck.
Yes.
But, you know, still cool.
Something we touched on quite a lot in the original, or at least in our first episode about the prequel trilogy, is how political they are.
Right.
And people these days will look at the sequels and be like, Star Wars is political now. Star Wars has always been political.
Absolutely.
You were just either you don't like the politics of the sequels or you were too young to notice the politics of the originals.
Okay.
You know, so for instance, this is a handwritten note I want to read a section of.
Oh.
A handwritten note. You can see it there. It's like a scribble.
Yeah, it's a scribble.
That is a handwritten note written by George Lucas in 1974. So 3 years before the movie came out when he was still planning these films.
Okay.
This is what the note says. The Empire is like America 10 years from now. After Nixonian gangsters assassinated the emperor and were elected to power in a rigged election, created civil disorder by instigating race riots and allowing the crime rate to rise to the point of a total control police state was welcomed by the people. Then the people were exploited with high taxes, utility and transport costs, gangsters and a cartel made up of power companies, transport companies and crime organizations. Other companies had to pay bribes to stay in business. They increased the crime rate by slowing down the system of justice and punishment.
God damn, George is politically conscious, man.
I mean, that first sentence, the empire is like America 10 years from now.
I mean, like, we can say that throughout American history.
Yes.
It's like, what is America going to be 10 years from now from under fucking Trump?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
terrifying. But that is George. I remember watching the discussion between him and James Cameron.
Yes.
I think it's from a series called Directors on Directors or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Is that the one that's got Keanu Reeves in it?
I have no idea.
I found it at a secondhand DVD shop in the UK.
Oh,
I bought it.
okay.
I still haven't watched it. We must come over and watch it.
Yeah.
But James is talking to him about the politics of the first film.
Yes.
And George is like the rebels of the Viet Cong
Yeah.
in the Vietnam War.
Exactly.
100%.
Which makes...
The empire is America.
Exactly.
You know? So these films, I mean, like, these films are about rebels.
Mm.
And, like, because the film is dressed in this very... I hate the word juvenile because it's got such a negative connotation and childish. But it's a very easy to understand delineation between the forces of good and evil.
It's very binary.
Binary, thank you. And when we do that in a political setting like this, we see the imperial empire and we see how evil they are and how terrible and controlling, and it's a dictatorship and all of that shit. And then we see the rebels.
Yeah.
Like, and all of the films in our society have this tendency to, like, bolster and praise the efforts of the rebellion or rebels against an overpowering malicious force.
Yes.
Right? Like the Empire. And Star Wars does that. But then when we reflect it in real life, we're just like, the fucking imperial power is the powers that are in control at the moment, guys.
Exactly.
You know, and when we see rebellions happening that seek to destabilize our functioning global economy and like political stability and stuff, people criticize those.
Yeah.
You kind of just like, in the setting of the story, and I know it's like far less complicated and stuff,
Yes.
we romanticize and we praise rebels.
Yeah.
Right? George understands this.
Yeah.
He understands this. This is Star Wars. It's political.
Yeah.
We have a rebel alliance with limited resources, smuggling,
Exactly.
you know, all of the things that quote unquote terrorist groups
Yes.
do these days. And that's how effective the American propaganda machine is. You know, is we have no sympathy for these rebel groups in real life.
Exactly.
That's another tangent separately, sorry. But like, it's an opinion I have of Star Wars and how people love movies like The Hunger Games or the Red Rising books,
Right.
Star Wars. But then, you know, shit like Palestine happens and then, you know, the narrative completely shifts.
Exactly.
So, absolutely have always loved George's politics in these films. Because I think his heart is in the right place and his politics are damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the damn political movies, man.
Yeah, they always have been.
Yeah.
Again, the only reason you think they weren't is because you were too young to notice.
Yeah.
Because they are kind of in this wrapper of a kid-friendly,
Yes.
you know, it's disguised as this binary good versus evil.
Yeah.
You know, it is, I don't think it's given the context of who they're made for, it isn't an oversimplification.
Right.
It is a simplification, like it has to.
It has to be.
You know.
Yeah.
But I think it works in that context.
This is why stuff like Andor is so fucking excellent.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched season 2 yet.
What? What do you mean?
I'm sorry.
What are you saying?
My life is so busy, Graham. It's so hectic. I'm doing too much. And I remember watching the first season and just loving just how much they delve into that level of detail and context that's inherently inside of the fabric of these stories.
Yeah.
But like when you're making a film, you just have to package it differently. You have to put your focus elsewhere, right?
Exactly.
You can't like really get into the weeds of all of that stuff.
Yeah.
The films are something completely different to the series. So it's really cool to have that extra layer of detail for us to get into.
Yeah.
I will watch season 2, I promise.
Please.
I've heard like people say that like the last 3 episodes are the greatest thing Star Wars ever done.
It's amazing.
Oh my God.
It's incredible.
Okay. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay.
All right. Are we done?
Yeah, we're done with the
We're
OG
done
trilogy.
with the original trilogy.
Yeah.
All right. Once again, if you've put up with us for this long, thank you.
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate it, especially if you listen to both. Then we extra love you.
Yeah. Talk to us.
Yeah,
Like,
please.
tell us how much our opinions suck.
Please. Again, our home base is thevideostore.co.za. You can find links to all our old episodes as well as all the social media. And let us know what you think of Star Wars and what you think of our opinions of Star Wars.
Yes, I'm on Insta. Chat to me on Insta. I
Okay.
can reply on the Insta.
Cool.
I'll be like very involved. I'll like tag it as C at the end so you know it's me.
There you go.
But I love chatting to people about Star Wars.
Yes.
It's just like, especially if you're a person who completely disagrees with us.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that in the sequel trilogy probably.
Big time.
It's really fun. It's such a fun movie series to talk about.
Yeah,
It's like, because everyone's passionate about it.
exactly.
Everyone that loves it is passionate about it.
Yeah.
And even if people are kind of tangentially interested in Star Wars, they still have an interest in talking about it and figuring it out because it is that culturally massive.
Exactly.
You know, so talk to us.
There you go.
It'll be great. Otherwise, pop in again. We'd love to see you at the video store.
Yes.
Always great to have you guys. And it's fun for these little chats for Graeme and I to just have a moment,
Yeah.
you know, after a shift to just nerd the fuck out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So come back next week for the sequel trilogy.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.